In the early 70s, when jazz was reinventing itself and funk was rising for the basements and block parties, one band stepped into the crossroads and created a sound that the world had never heard before. There was a time where jazz stood still, tradition on one side, experimentation on the other, and both met in the middle. A new sound began to emerge, which was funky, raw, rhythmic, and unstoppable. This revolutionary collective of musicians helped Herbie Hancock bring jazz into the streets, clubs, and outer edges of imagination. This wasn't just a band, that was a culture shift. This is a story of innovation and how a handful of fearless musicians cracked open the foundations of jazz and rebuilt them with rhythm, technology, and soul. The centerpiece of today's video is all about the Headhunters. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. The story of the Headhunters began with a shift in jazz music. By the early 70s, artists was experimenting with electronic instruments, new rhythms, and cross-genre influences. The Headhunters didn't appear out of nowhere. Their story begins with Herbie Hancock, one of the most influential keyboardists in jazz history. By the early 70s, Herbie was looking for a new direction. He already conquered acoustic jazz, Miles Davis-style electric fusion, and experimental avant-garde. But he wanted something deeper, something rooted in the earth. Herbie envisioned a band that could fuse jazz improvisations, funk rhythms, and African traditions. To do that, he needed musicians who didn't think like traditional jazz musicians. He needed thinkers, innovators, and scientists of rhythm. And that's exactly who he found. The core of the Headhunters was a group of musicians with widely different backgrounds, yet perfectly aligned instinct. Paul Jackson was the anchor, the bassist with deep knowledge of jazz, harmony, but a mindset that was shaped by street funk. His bass lines didn't just support the music, they spoke, respond, pushed, and pulled. He was the master of ghost notes and rhythmic tension. Mike Clark wasn't just a drummer. His patterns was unpredictable and fiercely funky. He approached the drum kit like a jazz drummer who understood funk's heartbeat. Bernie Maupin was the group's soulful majestic. His bass, clarinet, saxophone, and flute added atmosphere and depth. He wasn't flashy, he was essential, adding texture and tension to the group. And Bill Summers, who brought African, Afro-Caribbean, and world percussion into the mix. Individually, they was all unique, but together, that was unstoppable. The group's 1973 album, Headhunters, completely changed the definition of jazz funk. Each of the album's 4 songs showed a separate universe. One of the most famous bass lines ever recorded was the opening of Chameleon, which was thick, rubbery, and memorizing. Herbie played it on the ARP Odyssey. The song was jazz, but it was also science fiction, funk, and soul. Before there was a such thing of world music, this was a universal sound. The world reacted when each song on the album combined sophistication and accessibility. The album peaked 13 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 2 on the R&B charts. By the end of the year, the album was at number 21 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 3 on the R&B charts. This album also became one of the best-selling jazz albums of all time. It broke barriers, rewrote expectations, and introduced jazz to a wider audience who never even touched the genre before. The band toured relentlessly, delivering high-energy performances that pushed their music even further. They wasn't just playing songs, they was exploring possibilities. For many fans, the Headhunters wasn't jazz nor funk. There was something new entirely. After their debut album, the band went on to release several more albums. Also by 1975, when Herbie Hancock left the band, they also released albums as a standalone band. Their independent sound leaned even deeper into funk, groove, and world rhythms. The group's first album without Herbie, Survival of the Fittest, peaked 126 on the Billboard 200 charts. This album delivered the classic song, God Made Me Funky.
God made me funky. God made me.
This song also became one of the most sampled songs in hip-hop history. This song was sampled by artists such as Biz Markie, NWA, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Eric B. and Rakim, JJ Fad, De La Soul, DMX, Usher, and Nas. The song was also sampled by the legendary Prince. In 1977, they released another album, Straight From the Gate. This album produced a more smoother, more polished sound, showing their versatility. By 1998, the band reunited with Herbie Hancock, and they released the album Return of the Headhunters. This saw the group return to their rhythmic roots. Across each album that the group released, one thing remained consistent. The Headhunters refused to compromise their identity. They didn't chase trends because they set them. By the 80s and 90s, the band grooves became foundational to hip-hop. Their music was sampled by A Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, The Roots, Eric B. and Rakim, Nas, Ice Cube, MF Doom, and DJ Premier, among many more. The Headhunters wasn't just musicians, they were architects of rhythm. Their fingerprints are everywhere, from neo soul to electronic music, to jam bands, to progressive jazz. Despite many lineup changes, the Headhunters, they continued performing for decades. Bill Summers and Mike Clark carried the torch, introducing the band to new generations. The Headhunters released a total of 13 albums. The band is still active today, performing at a venue near you. Their latest album, The Stuntman, was released in 2024. Their legacy is secured. They helped refine the genre of jazz. They reshaped funk, influenced global music traditions, inspired hip-hop, expanded the rhythmic vocabulary, and proved that innovation never goes out of style. The Headhunters wasn't just musicians, they was explorers who pushed boundaries and broke rules. Their sound was ancient and futuristic, organic and electronic, simple and complex. Today, the Headhunters' groove still echoes through clubs, headphones, and samples worldwide. Their rhythms continue to inspire drummers, producers, DJs, and musicians who went on to seek something deeper than just a beat. They altered the course of jazz. They shaped the future of funk, and they left behind a legacy of fearless creativity. The Headhunters didn't just make music, they made history. Now, before we go, I have a few questions for you all. What is your favorite song by the Headhunters? Also, do you like the new direction I'm taking with my videos? Basically getting straight to the point? Or you like the more longer videos? Let me know in the comments below. Before I go, I want to take a second to promote my Discord. Over here, I provide a safe space for my supporters. We discuss music of all genres. You can provide me feedback on recent uploads, etc. If that interests you, then go ahead and check me out. The link is in my bio. While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.